Hi everyone, so during the next 2 weeks we're going to see how to create fire and use it in bigger scenes like burning buildings or cities. So it's not going to be a lot of amount of work this time because I want you to have time to kind of finish what you already started from the previous weeks, okay? So the first part we're going to see how to set up some fire, and then in the second part we're going to use that cache and really push it into a more complex setup. So right now we're going to see like maybe two kinds of fires. What I was thinking is to have like a standard fire rising from the floor, and another one that could be like used for windows or coming from the side of a building. Okay, so those are the two setups we're going to see this week. So I'm going to start with just emitting from a box. Oops. Okay, so box. Then I'm just gonna make this one a bit bigger, lower the height, and yeah, change it to polygon mesh. I'm just gonna add a bit more subdivisions. Okay. Just gonna select a bunch of those, apply a soft transform. Okay. Just wanna kind of not have a really linear edge, right? So, and finally just a mountain top. Just add some turbulences on top of that. So I'm just gonna offset that and lower the height around 0.3. Go with a little bit higher frequency. And or even more the height. Okay, this should be fine. So now I'm just gonna go to the PowerShelf and click on flames, then press enter when it asks me to do so. So now we see it's cooking. So I'm just gonna let it to generate a few things. So if we just look at the result we would get straight. So that's what we would get, okay? So now we're just gonna change a few settings. So let's go to the box here. I'm gonna delete that null called render. Okay. Don't need the merge here. So let's just change the color here just to see our fluid source node. So let's just lower a little bit the fuel scale and the temperature scale. Yeah, something like that. Then I'm gonna go to the noise, and I'm going to increase the influence by 2. Set influence as well. Okay, we're gonna make it a little bit higher. So the set influence, it's how much influence, okay, it's gonna have. And I'm gonna lower the pulse duration. So lowering this value, the pulse duration, is gonna make my nose to move faster, okay? So then I'm gonna leave it adaptive, the sharpness. I think this, we could leave it by default. Just change the offset to have something random. Kinda like to do that. And I'm just gonna make a smaller element size, okay? Then to the cell settings, I'm going to turn off additive cells. So what this one does is kind of blending together based on the turbulence values, right? So I don't want to do that, so I'm just going to turn it off. Okay, and get a smaller cell size, and I'm going to leave everything as by default. Okay, so now we're going to go back to our PyroSim. Actually, let me bring this one here. We're going to rename this to FireSim. Our box is going to be emitter. That's just going to be where we import our fire. Okay, so I'm leaving this on the side for now. Okay, so let's dive in here. So, okay, I'm going to turn off multi-field and I'm just going to display the heat. Okay, so that's what I really want to look at. So this I'm going to leave it division size. I'm going to lower it to 0.05, see how fast it goes. Yeah, it's still fast. Okay, so that's fine. I'm gonna come straight to the pyro server. So the first thing I want to do on a combustion, it's smoke, turn off the emit smoke. Okay, I don't want to have smoke. And right away, we're going to see now we have some issues here when it comes to resizing it. Okay, so that issue here is just really the resize dop that causes it to close like this and not go anywhere. The reason is the field is trying to check to see if it has to apply any resize. It's the density, and because we turned off the smoke, we don't have any density anymore. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use just the heat and burn fields. Okay, so now you can see it resized it properly. And the other thing I'm going to do right away on the max bound, I'm going to turn off clamp to maximum. So like this, I'm really going to lower it to get as big as it needs. Okay. So let's just check quickly what we have on our emitters. So I'm going to just scale a bit up the source. Okay, to get a bit more higher fluids coming in. So that's gonna be a bit too much. I'm gonna kind of lower it a little bit. I'm gonna scale up the temperature and lower the velocity a tiny bit. Okay, so next step, I just want to double check that everything was done properly. So fuel, that's fine. Okay, yeah, everything that seems okay. So I'm gonna go to my Pyro solver. Under the simulation tab, I'm gonna lower the time scale kind of close to the half of it. Okay. Okay, like this, so that's just fine. I'm going to increase a tiny bit the temperature diffusion, so it's how the temperature is going to get blurred inside of sim. Okay, so it's kind of like a radius. Cool rate, I'm gonna keep the same, and I'm just gonna increase a bit the buoyancy lift. So let's see what we get here. Okay, so that's not too bad. So let's go to the combustion tab, and what I'm going to do here, I'm going to change the temperatures at which it's gonna ignite the fuel. So here what it does, it's everything what's hotter than the value we give it here is gonna ignite, okay, and burn. So I'm gonna just increase it to 0.15. So it's gonna have to get a little bit warmer before it starts to burn. Burn rate, I'm gonna keep it the same. So that's basically how many percent. So it's 90% of the fuel that gets burned. Fuel inefficiency, that's basically how much data we keep in our fuel field. I'm gonna leave it by default. And the temperature output, it's how much temperature the fuel that gets burned is gonna release. So I'm gonna make it hotter. So I'm gonna push it up like this. And the gas release, I'm gonna just show you quickly what it does. So I'm gonna go with a really small value. So I'm gonna play this. Actually, I'm gonna go change my here to 120 frames. It's gonna be faster to make flipbooks. And I'm gonna make a first flipbook of this with a gas release value of 0.96. Okay, so I made two different flipbooks. The first one was with a really small value, less than 1 for the gas release, and the other one we can see we have almost 25 as value. Okay, so that's really the amount of gas we're going to push inside the areas that are burning. So more gas we're gonna release, faster is gonna push outward our fluids. So we can really see the big difference between our two sims. Okay, so that's how the gas release is kind of like an expansion value like we would have in other solvers. So I'm just gonna close those. And I'm gonna lower it kind of close to 10. So if now I'll kind of look what we have here. Okay, so we feel like gas in there, but it's not too strong either, right? Okay, so I'm gonna leave this as is, and now I'm gonna go to the shape tab. So I'm gonna add a bit more disturbance, and I'm straight gonna turn on the turbulences and the confinement. Okay, and let's just increase a little bit all this. So turbulences, I'm gonna go 1. Confinement, I'm gonna go somewhere close to 4, and we're going to see what each of them is doing. Disturbance, I'm gonna say a bit higher, and same here for the shredding. Kind of close to have the same values. So if I look as is, so now it's kind of getting crazy, right? So the shredding really kind of add that random noise pattern in there. So if I would turn it off, see, it's already way smoother. And actually it's not bad, but I'm gonna put it back for now. Actually lower it a tiny bit, and I'm gonna change a little bit of the settings. So I'm gonna go first to the disturbance tab. See if I want to change something there. So I'm gonna increase the box size just to get some higher values in there. Higher disturbance, right? Then when it comes to the shred, I'm actually going to keep the values we have here. Turbulent, I'm going to make a smaller thread size. So let me just quickly keep it like this. Look at what we have here. Okay, so if I make it a bit smaller, still kind of hard to tell. Okay, I'm gonna lower the shredding here. Okay, maybe might come back later to check this. Okay, confinement, I'm gonna leave this as it is. Maybe put it at 4. Or maybe even higher. Let's see what kind of difference we're gonna get. Okay, just playing a bit around. So the confinement kind of boost our vortices. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna bring it back close to 4. Okay, so I'm just checking one last time here. Okay. Seems okay. So one other thing I want to do now, I'm just gonna change a little bit emitter. Okay. So let me just go full screen here, and I'm just gonna copy paste this, and here I'm just gonna change a few values. So I'm gonna go to the noise, change a bit the pulse duration, sorry. I'm gonna change my offset here, change the size as well. I just want to add some details, you know, just by adding an extra one in here. And the other thing I'm gonna do quickly, I'm gonna use volume VOP. I'm just gonna bring a bind export, connect these two, use a multiply. Okay, so this we're going to use here the fuel. Okay, and we're going to copy paste, and that's going to be the temperature. So I just want to be able to globally change those two values, and then I'm going to parameter. I'm going to leave it by 1 and maximum of 2, and I'm going to call this one global mult. Okay. And now I'm gonna be able here to make it a bit smaller. So I'm just lowering the values on top of that. Okay, I could have just changed them here, but now that I have two different values, it's just easier for me to just multiply it down or up just down here. Going to this fire, I'm gonna copy paste my emitter, merge them together, then okay, the one thing I want to keep the same, it's scale velocity, so I'm gonna copy this one, reference, so like this. And now let's just see what we get here. Okay, so I'm gonna just make a flipbook quickly. Okay, so mixing the two volumes together gives us some more interesting results, right? Than just a simple emitters. So you're really going to be able to have like some lower frequencies mixed with higher frequencies instead of having just one single noise on your emitter, right? So adding multiple emitters instead of just one just gives you like that extra level of control. Okay, so I'm not going to push really much further than this right now. I'm going to keep this one as it is, and I'm just going to set up quickly a second one, just like I said, if it would be like from a window. And I'm going to kind of keep the same values just to save some time. So feel free to really get a bunch of them ready. Okay, so more caches you have, more freedom you're going to have, and variations in your sim. Okay, so actually before I go further, I just want to set up here how we're going to bring in all the caches and write them out. Okay, so I'm going to delete the import power visualization. I'm going to bring this up, just show the parameters like this. So what I want to, I'm going to keep the velocity. I'm going to turn off the density. I don't need the rest. I'm not gonna keep the temperature nor the fuel. I'm just gonna use the velocity and the heat. Okay, so now I'm just gonna use again a volume compress. Use my preset here, so update compression settings 0.01, okay, and use 16-bit floats. So I'm going to use a delete sub, and this time make sure I'm not deleting twice the same field. So this one is gonna be at name is equal to val dot star. So I'm gonna delete the velocity. Okay, now I'm gonna copy paste, and this time switch it to delete non-selected. So if I look at the detail view, my primitives, so I have here only the velocity, and here I have only the heat. Okay, that's fine. Now I'm gonna use a volume resample now for the velocity. So actually let me type resample, so volume resample, and I'm gonna put a scale of 0.45. I'm already gonna bring down the merge. And again, if you want to visualize the heat with lower res, we can set that up quickly. So let me just copy this one, and instead of velocity here we're going to put heat, so we just keep the heat. I'm going to use another volume resample, change the value to 0.3. Now I'm going to bring here file sup, and I'm going to put this into write, and I'm going to write that out. Why is that erroring? Okay, so GON doesn't let me to create a folder like this. I'm gonna manually create it in the Windows Explorer. I'm gonna have to double check. I have some issues with some networks folders. Not a big deal. I'm doing it quickly manually in here. So Houdini Geo, and then I'm gonna call this one doesn't help me to create one either here. Okay, so refresh fire one, and then actually create another folder in there. Okay, so I'm having issues unfortunately right now with my computer. I don't want to restart right now, so I'm just gonna save it here. So fire one visualization, and I'm gonna do it dot $f dot bgo. Okay, and then I'm just gonna delete everything. So up everything, so we don't have anything left, and merge them back here, and then adding a final null to it. Call this one out fire one, and I'm gonna put here a rock network. And I'm gonna copy this. Now I'm gonna go to Geo, then grab, my output sup frame range. I'm gonna change it by an expression, so $rf start and $rf end. Paste the path, and now he read it as fire one dot $f dot bgo, and I'm gonna rename this as fire one sim, and I'm gonna save my file, and of course, yeah, because of those issues. Okay, I'm gonna have to rename it later. It's really weird. Okay, I'm gonna see if my computer lets me to just write that out. Seems to be writing. Okay, so now I'm gonna copy this parameter, come up here, bring a file sup, and just paste reference. Okay, and if I look, okay, perfect. So, like I said, now I want to just, I'm gonna rename this actually fire one emitter with S, and this is going to be in fire one, and I'm gonna just go in manual mode and copy paste to save time. Okay, so I'm gonna go 2. Okay, that's fine. And now I'm gonna go to my emitter and I'm just gonna set a new emitter. Okay, so I'm going to just again use a box. I'm gonna copy this parameter, paste it here, and divide the value by 2, so I'm always aligned to the grid. Okay. And I'm gonna scale it up. Let's say 4 meters. Then 0.5 on X and 3 meters here on X. Actually, no, let me bring this back down to the center. It's going to be better for later. And again, polygon mesh. And the x-axis, I just need 2. And I'm going to select my central primitive, and I'm just going to scale it up. Oh, am I? No, actually I'm not gonna scale it up, sorry about that. I'm just gonna grab this one. Grab those and actually pull them a little bit down. Then select just one of them. Okay. Actually, sorry about that again. I think it might be easier for us later if I keep it at the origin. Okay. So this one, I'm just gonna extrude it slightly inside. Okay. Now, oops. I'm going to delete not selected. So that's my emitter. Okay. And I'm going to use this as a collision object. This, wall collisions. Okay. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to grab those two, paste them here. See what we get. Okay, the one thing I want to really change now is the velocity. So I'm gonna do it mostly on the second one. So fuel stem points. Yes, what I'm gonna do here. Let me just check this. Yeah, I'm going to do like this. So I'm gonna go facet. And now post compute normal. So if I check at this, okay, perfect. So normals are pointing in the right direction. So now I can scatter points. with the normals pointing in the right direction as well. Awesome. And I'm just gonna quickly add some noise on top of that. So let me just dive in here really quick. And I'm gonna use the normals for this, right? So I'm just gonna plug this straight out to the opposite. Now go with an add sub. Then an anti-alias flow noise. Grab the position. Grab the time, plug it into the flow. So now I'm having an animated noise. And just as a start point, I'm gonna do it like this. Let's see what we get here. Okay, first going in real time. Now I'm gonna add a constant, multiply constant. I'm gonna get it a little bit faster, okay? And I'm gonna change here the roughness a tiny bit. Okay. Higher frequency. And actually, no, I'm gonna make it maybe slower. Let me just check. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it slow. So I'm gonna keep it really simple. And last thing we could maybe try if I use like a length node here. Grab the length of a noise, use it as a multiplier here for normal values. Okay, that kind of gives us some interesting results, and I'm gonna try maybe to fit it, but to find the right values first, I'm gonna add another attribute node. That's just temporary, just for me to kind of have an idea what kind of values I'm dealing with. So I'm gonna make that just speed, lower. So points, add all attribute, display just speed. So I'm going from 0 to 1.2. Let me just check something. Okay. Okay. So let's just add here a fit node. And no, not this one. Yeah, just a fit range. Okay, better. So we said maximum was point. Let's see, 5 to have some a little bit more freedom, and then now I'm able to remap it, right? And I'm gonna just promote this and call this global mult. And I'm gonna go maximum 2, default value of 1. And delete my add attribute node. We don't need this. Okay. So I'm pretty sure the noise is gonna be way too strong right here. Okay, so we might have to change this. First of all, here on a fluid source, I'm going to change scalar volume to build from points. And I'm just gonna check as 10 points. It was sample of 0.2. Okay, make that see what we get here. So that might be a bit big. Actually, it was pretty good what I had already had. So I'm gonna keep it like this. And velocity, I'm gonna put it from the normals. Okay, so I'm pretty sure it's way too high right now, but I'm just gonna give it a try. So I'm gonna save my file. Go to my second fire, update my emitters. So, you know what? Let's rename those because it's gonna be confusing. So, fuel A, fire 1, fuel B, fire 1. And I'm gonna copy this, paste it, copy, and paste. So I renamed it to fire 2, perfect. And now here I just have to go change those. Okay, so let's just see what we get here. I'm just interested to see. Maybe not. So one other thing I really want to do quickly is to come here and actually display this one. Okay, so let's just see what we get here. Okay, so it goes up, but not strong enough. So let's just increase here. Maybe the velocity. Okay. So, oh, hold on. Yeah, my bad. That's why. That was meant to be B. I think that's okay. That's better. Okay, so now we really have like that motion from the flames coming out of the building, right? So let me just check what we get here. Yeah, I'm pretty kind of thinking it's kind of a bit strong. So first I'm gonna bring this one back down a little bit. Just like 0.8. Okay, that's could be pretty good, I think. Yep. And we may want to try just maybe just to bring like a static solver and then BD object name. I'm gonna be like, that's gonna be wall. It's not gonna be active, it's gonna be static. Bring it up here. And subpath, I'm gonna go to my emitter. Okay, and deck wall collision. Yeah, I already see that I'm gonna have to go higher with the wall, but let's just see what we get here. If I just turn off the display, okay. So yeah, let's just make that higher. So what we could do here, just like select those upper points. And raise that up. And maybe it should be a bit wider as well, but let's see where we get there. So should go back at first frame. Okay, so yeah, that kind of works. Now I'm kind of thinking it might be not strong enough. Could be maybe a tiny bit more coming on the tiny, yeah, a little bit stronger. I mean, that's really going to be up to you, what kind of fire you want to see coming out of your buildings, but yeah, that could be one version, and then you have like some other versions that are coming out faster. Okay, let's actually, speed isn't that bad. Now that it plays in real time, it's not bad. It's actually even better. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna use this right to scatter later on some windows. So this being done, yeah, I really want you to kind of try to put a couple of caches together, right, during this week, and then kind of play with it to have like different types of fires. And what I want to just go really quickly, without spending too much time right now, just set up a shader and a renderer for it. So let me just pause this, come up here. I'm going quickly here to save. Yeah, that's surely this would be better if there's no numbers here, right? Because we're inside. So I'm gonna actually update here as well. And I'm gonna go there. Fire 2, create intermediate directories. And I'm gonna write that out quickly. Okay, so yeah, feel free to go higher res as well, right? So now I just keep it really low res to saving some time. But yeah, feel free to get some nice high res detailed sims. Okay, so we should have already a shader that's been created at the same time we did use the shelf tool. Okay, I'm just gonna go quickly here. Actually, let me just come here. Let's create a camera quickly. 720p is gonna be enough. Just lock it. Okay. Now I'm just gonna go straight to the ROPS and create a Mentra node. Call this one fire. It takes a camera, so that's fine. So candidate turn off the lights. I always love to use the force. I find it more efficient to make sure we always render whatever we need to render. Doesn't matter if the display flag is on or not. Matte, I'm going, okay, just come back here. And I'm gonna create a geo node here. And I'm gonna object merge. Make sure if you're in into specific mode, in specific object mode, to put the point, or just go to into selected object. Sorry, into this object. Okay, and then we're going to grab here the wall collision, actually like this, and that's gonna be wall matte. And tack. Okay, so here we're going to bring, wall matte. Now I'm just gonna check that this has the right shaders. Fire, flames, okay. Actually, this one I'm gonna turn on matte shading. Fire 2. Sampling, velocity, motion blur is on, so that's fine. So I'm gonna go here, and I'm just gonna check like this where we get, just to give it a try. And so right now I don't get anything. Okay, so we're gonna fix this. Okay, so let me just check first my shader. So density, I'm gonna change this to heat, and I'm gonna try that again. Still nothing. One thing I'm gonna do really quick for now, I'm going to turn off the mats. Just want to make sure I get some alpha in there first. Okay, so chop. So what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to turn off the fire here. I'm going to go to the smoke and put heat in there. Okay, constant density. Deck. Just seeing if here we get some improvement. Okay, that's already better. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just gonna play a little bit really quickly with this ramp. Okay, so I'm gonna make ROM, same here. Okay, and now I'm just gonna add a bunch of points to break all this. Okay, so that's gonna just gives us a little bit more details. Feel free to just play around, change your curves, right? I'm not gonna spend really a lot of time on it right now. Just want to break that linear renders. If I just compare it right now like this without changing anything else. Oh, I closed it before, so. Oh, and we were looking just at the alpha. Okay, fair enough. So now I'm gonna change a few things. So I'm gonna go to, leave it float. Go to the color. I'm not gonna keep it white. I'm gonna change this in a second. Let's just bring a light. Okay, so img Okay, I'm going to lock it quickly. I'm gonna add this to my renderer. Set force. Okay, that window doesn't show up always properly. I'm always having that issue on Windows. Okay, so that's fine. I'm gonna go quickly back to my camera. Okay, so now I'm having something in my colors, in my beauty, okay? So yeah, sampling is not right, but that's gonna be just fine for now. I'm gonna go back to my shader, and I'm just gonna change something, not particles, chop. I'm gonna allow editing of contents, okay? And what I'm going to do now, oh, actually that was not necessary. So let me just go match when definition. I'm just gonna go here, edit parameter interface, and so smoke density. I want to go to okay, density color, perfect. That's where I want to go. And I'm gonna add to the constant like a float. So that's a color, okay, a float, and then I'm gonna add here a color underneath. Okay, so that's gonna be mult, and we're going to use this to multiply and then color. Okay, so now I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have my main color here, and I'm gonna have the result here, okay, based on the multiplications to make it really stronger. So I'm gonna first copy, paste, and then we set mult, so that's gonna be multiplied by ch mult. I'm just gonna copy this and paste it for the other ones. So I'm gonna put this at 1. And kind of colors, I'm gonna go here 0.46 and 0.128. And now I'm gonna increase this actually pretty high, or maybe not that high, 30. And let's see now what we get here. Just waiting for the window to pop up. Okay, so we start to get details in there. It's really burned out right now, so we're gonna have to clean that up. So let's go to the renderer quickly. So properties, renderer, I'm gonna switch already to PBR, so micro polygon rendering. And let's just render, so we're going to see straight difference. Okay, we're getting already a way smoother result, right? It's not as noisy as it was before. So now sampling, I'm gonna allow motion blur, motion factor 0.5. I'm gonna leave everything as is. So I'm not sure we're going to see a big difference here. I'm gonna have to double check something really quick. Okay, so let's just check something. I'm gonna leave this. Okay. So we got the objects, so that's fine. So first thing I'm going to do really quickly, I'm just gonna get a higher res sim. Okay, so be right back. Okay, so I've just got a higher res sim. Well, I'm gonna go quickly to my shader. The color might be really strong, so let me just bring that down to 10, or maybe even for now just 2, see where we get there. So fire. Okay, so that's why we increased this. So let me increase this back. Okay, so put it back to 15. Okay, and from there, I mean, we could just go further and play with it in comp with Nuke or whatever other software you like to work with. Okay, so I'm not gonna go further with this for this week. We're going to see during all those weeks how to get that done anyway. So right now, like I said, I don't want to go and do too much in once. So it takes some time to finish whatever sims you were still working on from the previous weeks, and start to put together some a couple of caches, right? Different kinds of smoke simulations.